Welcome to Sanctuary. Today we're going to draw a horse. We're going to be using the basic archetypal forms to make this horse. So we're not trying to end up with necessarily a photoreal looking drawing, but we are breaking the animal down into shapes so that the child can understand how to create a horse without drawing lines. Because we don't see in nature, we don't see a lot of outlines of things. We see form and the full form. So that's what we're going to create today. This is the finished product of what we'll be drawing. I've used block crayons for this. Obviously, I got creative with my colors, which you can as well. But for the horse I'm going to draw today, I selected these 4 colors. So I have a light orange, brown, red, and a dark orange. These are stock Mar block crayons. I highly recommend getting a set of these. They're great for form drawing and many other things. So let's begin. So as I usually mention in my videos, I like to use large format paper for the younger students. This is a 12 by 18 piece of drawing paper. It just allows so that the child can really move the form around with the crayon and really get their whole arm and hand into the motion. Whereas if we have a small piece of paper, everything gets very tight and closed in. So the shapes we're going to be working with today come from the 3 archetypal forms, which is circle, triangle, square. From these, you can derive many different shapes. Kidney bean shape, which is great for the body, which we're going to use today. Paisley, teardrops, macaroni as we call it, rectangles. All of these shapes you'll find in nature. Flowers, animals, all the different kingdoms. And these are great. You can find these online. Great resource to use when you're drawing. So to begin, I'm going to use my dark orange. And I'm going to start with the main part of the body for the horse. So I'm going to find the center of my page. Also, as I've noted in other videos, is if the form, now this should be easy enough with a block crayon, but if not, sometimes it's good for the child to trace the shape that they're going to draw with their finger, just to get a sense of how to move their hand and the crayon on the page. Okay, so to begin with the body, I'm going to try not to make this too big. I'm going to think about my form. If I have my body in the center, I need to leave room for the neck and the head and the legs and the tail. So I'm not going to make this too large. I'm going to start with the bottom of this shape as a curve. I'm then going to make a small curve at the top. Another small curve going the opposite way. And a curve towards the back. So now we have our kidney bean. This will be the main body of the horse. So I drew that with the mama bear side of our block crayon. I'm going to fill it in with the papa bear side of our crayon, which is the larger side. And I'm not going to press too hard. I just want to fill in and get a nice even fill to the body so that we're not left with an outline. Now at this point, since you filled it in, you can adjust your shape. Maybe this is too low. Maybe you want this a little bit bigger. This is going to be the hindquarters of a horse. So maybe I want to make that a little more round. And I can do that now that I have my basic shape. From here, I'm going to draw the legs. So I'm going to, with Mama Bear, I'm going to draw 2 legs in the back, straight down. Not to the bottom, I'm going to leave a little bit of space at the bottom here. My second leg, slightly forward, same length. Third leg in the front, same length. And the fourth leg I'm going to have slightly bent as if my horse is taking a step forward. All of these, I want to try and get the same length so that our horse is not off balance. Next, I'm going to draw the neck. So the neck is going to come up in sort of a triangular shape off the back and off the chest and going to meet. It's good to think about the size here because we don't want to make our neck too long or we'll end up with a giraffe instead of a horse. So with Mama Bear again coming off the back, I'm going to draw the neck. And this is forming a triangle. Funny looking now, but we will add the head in a moment and all will be right. So from here, at the end of the neck, we're going to draw the head. It's going to come down flat, straight line, and a curve up. Next, I'm going to draw the ears. With Mama Bear, you can draw 2 lines up off the neck like that. Again, you can adjust things as you go. Maybe I want to make the neck a little thicker. The legs can be a little thicker on the top, as they would be. The back legs are a little thicker yet. Small adjustments as we go along. So now I have the main body of the horse. Next, I'm going to draw the hoofs. I'm going to use a dark brown for mine. You can use whatever color you selected. And with Mama Bear at the bottom of the legs, I'm just going to draw a small little rectangle like that, connected to the bottom of each leg. Just a little mark is all we need. Again, going back to the archetypal shapes. Next, I'm going to draw the mane and the tail. For this, I've selected a light orange. You can select any color you like. Now for this, I'm going to use Baby Bear, which is almost a point. You can also use a stick crayon because we want to do wavy lines to get a thin hair look. So I'm going to go from the neck, I'm going to come down with wavy lines repeated. And I'm going to stop about the bottom of the neck where a mane should. I'm going to add a little bit in between the ears. There's our mane. You can add more than one color if you like for highlights or shadows. Now for the back of the tail, same. I'm going to do a large wavy line coming back to the point, a little thicker in the middle, coming to a nice point at the end. Nice flowing tail. Until you have it to a place that you like. Next, I'm going to add a saddle. Our saddle is going to be, again, we're breaking everything down to simple shapes. If you'd like to add more detail, you're more than welcome to. But I'm going to start on the back. So we have our little curved area in the back here. And in that space, with Mama Bear, we're going to draw a line across the seat of the saddle. And I'm going to make a U shape or half circle for our saddle. And I'm going to fill that in with Mama Bear, Papa Bear. There's our saddle. Now, one last detail, if you like. If you feel like adding in some background or scenery, we can add a bit of grass at the bottom. Again, very simple shapes. So you can use Papa Bear at the bottom of your paper, right to the edge, and go right across. And suddenly, our horse is no longer floating in space, but standing in a field. You can add some small details of grass if you like. Just little sprouts here and there. Now if we'd like to add a background sky, we can take our blue. Now, the block crayons tend to leave spaces as you drag across the Mama Bear or Papa Bear, so it almost creates a cloud effect. And with the block crayon, I can simply push across, starting at the edge of the figure, going out towards the edge. And with the block crayon, I can go around my shapes very easily. Again, we don't want to get a scribble effect, a scratchy effect with the point of the crayon. We want to get a nice, smooth, even look with Mama Bear, Papa Bear. Papa Bear fills in a little bit faster. We just start at the figure and push out. Almost done. As I always point out, it's good to take our time and move slow, no rush. And with the block crayon, it's very easy to fill in all these little spaces if we've done the simple form. And then our horse is out in a full, complete picture.